So this took place back sometime in 2015 when my friend Sabrina went to Disney World. She went to Disney World in Orlando with her family, and of course, she was the only child, which meant that she got a lot of stuff, even when she asked her parents desperately for it. Sabrina was kind of like a spoiled brat, but not like Veruca's salt spoiled, if you get what I mean. Sabrina and her family were going to Florida in Orlando for a week to spend some time at Walt Disney World. It was around March break, so she didn't have any school, to which that was a big bonus. The room they were staying at was Aladdin themed, which was a pretty nice room that her family were staying at. Both her parents shared one bed, while Sabrina got the whole bed to herself. She was enjoying it, and she really was enjoying, having a whole bed to herself. Although she was still in the same room as her parents, but she didn't really mind that at all. She really enjoyed her room so much. The first day at Disney World was great as they were settling in and stuff. It was pretty much what you expect in a Disney World. However, it honestly was pretty substantial as they end up staying the night over. But however, the first night went well, but the second night was when something started to get a little weird. The second day they were staying at, it was I think around the time when they just got back from being out at Disney World all day. Her father went into the bathroom when he noticed there was a phone charger. Of course, the phone charger was not in on the first night, and of course, housekeeping was done sometime while they were out. But the weirdest thing is that they didn't see anyone walk in there with towels or any cleaning supplies or anything. However, what was really disturbing, what Sabrina's dad found out, was that there was a hidden camera inside the phone charger. It was really weird, but he honestly didn't know how someone was able to get a camera in there. And of course, that's when he ended up going to security and showing the evidence of the camera hidden in the phone charger. After viewing the footage, there was footage of people getting changed and etc. inside that camera. Turns out that someone had been working there that happened to be snuck into Sabrina's parents in their room, sneaking that camera in just to record some stuff. Ever since that day at the hotel, the police were called and they ended up cutting the not short at the trip, but they ended up cutting off the room they were staying at and requested a different room, to which, of course, the hotel gave them a new room and refunded for the old room they had, as is their way of telling them not to sue them. Sabrina and her family don't know who was behind that phone charger, but with that camera, it's really hard to say who would be behind that, but you gotta be really careful when it comes to hotel rooms. You can never be too careful when it comes to things like this, as stuff like that could happen to a lot of people. You just don't know when that will be. About a few years ago, this was around 2018, and this happened to one of my friends, which of course I'll call her by the name Sophia. Sophia went to Disney World for at least a week in the summertime, and this was just at least a week after school had been let out for the summer. Sophia and her parents went to Disney World, which of course it was a really big and popular area. They went on a bunch of rides, ate some food, and played some arcade games. However, there was this merry-go-round where Sophia was waiting for the merry-go-round to go on, and of course she was on one of the horses rides that she was one of the horses on the carousel. While she was going on, her parents were taking photos. Keep in mind that Sophia was about maybe 17, and while she was on the carousel having fun, there was this one guy who happened to be not far from Sophia's parents. He was around maybe his early 50s, and he looked like he was graying. At first, they thought that he could have been a parent of one of the kids that were on the carousel or something, but he didn't even look like a parent at all. In fact, he was having camera on him where he started taking pictures of people in the carousel. Of course, Sophia's parents had their suspicions, not sure as to why this guy was doing that, but of course, it wasn't long until the security guard walked up to the man and asked him to hand over the camera. When he refused to have the camera, that's when the guards were confiscated the camera, and of course, they escorted him out of the park. Now, Sophia and her family didn't really pay too much attention to it, but it wasn't until a few days later when on the news reports it showed that there was honestly a man taking photos of random people on rides at Disney World. It was mainly kids, and he was zooming in most likely on their faces. It honestly really was disturbing, knowing that this man probably was some sort of predator. And Sophia's parents hate to feel the fact that Sophia was in one of those photos, but there's not really clear as to if that was the case or not. To this day, they never saw the man again during their trip, and they honestly don't even know what his intentions were. But if he was taking photos of kids on rides, then he has no good intentions whatsoever. I do apologize if this is a short one, but this took place to some time ago in 2016. One of my friends, which we will call him by the name Tristan, he was going to Florida in Disney World for about a few days. Of course, it was around March break, so he was staying in one of the rooms with his parents, but of course with his older sister. While he was staying at the hotel room, there was one night where he ended up getting up to use the bathroom. Honestly, when he got up to use the bathroom, he ended up hearing what seemed to be a door opening. He thought that at first it could have been his mom, but it didn't seem like his mom would be up that late. It was around 3 at night when he ended up looking over to find out that there was nobody there. It wasn't long until he started hearing knocks coming from the from the hotel room door. He opened it expecting somebody to be there, but there was nobody there. He ended up closing the door, and a few seconds later the knock appeared again. Of course, he looked for the peephole thinking that there could be somebody who was knocking, but it didn't look like it was knocking or anything. Of course, he couldn't even see if somebody was there, but he ended up realizing that who it is might have been playing pranks on him. He didn't hear anything or have anything abnormal happen since that night when he went to bed, so it was peaceful. However, Tristan's mom was feeling cold when she woke up and asked him if the AC was on, to which he replied with no. Of course, this was confusing as nobody really touched the AC or anything in the middle of the night. It was later revealed that whatever it is, it must have been some sort of paranormal, which of course they felt that they could have been maybe having some paranormal activity happen in their room. Still to this day, they have no idea as to who or what was with them in that hotel room. Nothing like that has ever happened since, but they still don't know what to believe to this day.